everybody, and welcome back to a normal episode of the Media Boat Podcast, your weekly rundown where we talk about movies, TV, music, and video games, but not necessarily in that order. And that's right, I said we because I'm Mike and he's Matt.
Hi, Matt. He's Mike. This is the Media Boat Podcast. As you said, I don't think there's ever been a normal episode of Media Boat Podcast, just
Well,
to be
considering the
clear.
past 3 weeks we've had solo episodes.
No, I knew what you meant. I'm just clarifying that if you're expecting normalcy, you're not going to get it.
Oh, that's not here at this podcast.
No, this is the wrong place if you're looking for that. Today is July the 24th, 2026. This is episode 548. And yeah, let's get rolling right into it.
Yep, we're gonna start with the music section. Start the music section with the Billboard. Start the Billboard with the Hot 100. And the hottest song in the land is Choosing Texas by Ella Langley.
Mhm.
At 2, I Knew It, I Knew You by Taylor Swift. At 3, Be Hurt by Ella Langley. Coming in at 4, Hate, That I Made You Love Me by Ariana Grande. And running at your top 5, Dracula by Tame Impala. And Janae. As for your albums chart, your Billboard 200, at number 1 is The Real Me by Future. Of course, it's not that fake future that we live in. At 2, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love by Olivia Rodrigo. Coming in at 3 is the problem himself, Morgan Wallen. At 4, Dandelion by Ella Langley. And right here, top 5, The Great Divide by Noah Kahan.
Yep.
So Future coming in with that number 1, only new one in the top 5.
Yep.
If you didn't like any of those albums, we have new releases, starting with Late to Set by Alex Cameron, Tally by Body Type, Little Miss Twain by Shania Twain. Yes, that's Shania Twain. Reality Awaits by The Strokes. Yes, those Strokes, but also not those Strokes. We also have by Tyla. That's a pop. We have The Thread by Willow, yelling at you with all caps. And lastly, we have music, fashion, film by Charli XCX.
Yes.
Although I should say it properly, it's music, comma, fashion, comma, film
Yes.
by Charli XCX. All right. I believe you'll be talking about that album in just a hot second.
Yes, I will.
But first, we got to get into the music news and what a year Ella Langley has had.
Mm-hmm.
The year's biggest single, Ella's Choosing Texas, has racked up its 14th week at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, which has tied a record held by Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. Langley's song, which first topped the Hot 100 chart back in February, ties Mariah Carey's We Belong Together, Baby, as well as Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You for the most weeks at number 1. Apart from holiday singles by female performers with no male billed acts. That caveat is, of course, specifically for Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is
Yes.
You, which has totaled some 22 weeks across 7 years.
Yeah. I mean, that goes to show you that, like, if something really catches viral Viral Fire. I was trying to say both at the same time and it came out
Viral's
viral.
a great word for
Isn't
viral
that good?
fire.
Fire viral. That it can get you to record-breaking territory, and we're pretty close there with Ella Langley. Again, I don't understand it, but at this point, I've accepted it. It is apparently a big hit song. I just don't get why.
I mean, you actually by this point have listened to
I have heard it,
Choose in Texas.
yes, multiple times at this point, and I
Yes,
still just don't understand how it got so big.
I don't know. And
I'll
you've
never know.
listened to the album Dandelion, right?
I have not. No, not the
Okay.
entirety
Okay, it was
entirety
just
of
me
it.
then.
Yeah, it's just you and your family
Yes, constantly on repeat here.
constantly.
Every now and then I will force Casey Musgraves to be played just to break up
Just to
the
break
monty
up
here.
the dominance.
Yes, the dominant side is Ellis. The Ellis fellas are everywhere.
Wait, is that what her fans are like? Her male fans are called
Yeah,
Ellis
Ella
fellas?
fellas. Yep.
Sure, okay, why
What?
not?
They exist.
They, I'm sure they do.
Yes. All right. Well, congratulations, Ella Langley. One more week, and I believe you break that record, right?
Yeah,
And I don't think there's anything coming out that would top that. Or is there?
or is there?
Charlie XCX.
Um, Probably not. I don't see a whole
Oh,
lot of radio-friendly singles out of this thing. I mean, that's also what I said about Brat, and Brat did better with radio play than I expected.
mhm.
I will be fair there. Speaking of Brat, so yeah, I listened to Music Fashion Film, which is the new Charlie XCX record. The singles didn't really do it for me so far, and so I came into this one with a little trepidation. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this as much as Brat. If it's too much of a departure, I might be a little disappointed. Um, I didn't really like the music videos that she's put alongside the singles so far. So I was going in with pretty low expectations, or at least, if not low expectations, just prepared not to like it as much as I liked Brat.
It's
Which,
called Tempered.
sure, yes. However, I am happy to report that I do actually think this is a really good record. Um, I think that Charlie has pulled off something that I didn't expect her to pull off, which is, yeah, a sound change that does still very much sounds like her, without losing a lot of what I liked about her music in the past. The singles don't really do the whole album as service. There's a lot of songs here that are personal in the way that the best tracks on the previous two records were, including Brat and How I'm Feeling Now from 2020. Those are the best moments here. There's a lot of sonic variety within this kind of quote unquote rock music template. It's not samey, it's very, very wide ranging in the kind of sounds that it encompasses. And yeah, she tackles a lot of really interesting subject matter here, as she's often wont to do. Like a lot of Charlie's records and other media lately, it is kind of a commentary on where she is in her own stardom, her own celebrity, her own art creating persona. And yeah, so there's like songs about her insecurities, like there have been before. There's songs about friendships that may be on the rocks or complicated relationships that she has with people. Um, there are songs here about her own nervousness about being now a someone's wife and having to deal with that extra pressure that perhaps she hadn't dealt with before. So she covers a lot of ground here. And then it kind of ends with the ultimate, I feel, thesis statement of this record, where she's dealing with the legacy that she's leaving behind, like with her art, and whether it's the artist who remains timeless or just the art, or actually maybe neither. And she brings in none other than director.
Martin
Um,
Scorsese, who's on the cover.
no, he's just on the front. No.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm blanking. David
Alejandro.
Cronenberg. That's right. I kept thinking of John. Well, it's not John. David Cronenberg shows up
You're thinking
on
of
this
John
last.
Carpenter?
Maybe that's why I was getting confused. Like, I know, I just listened to this like twice. I
Hmm.
should know. But anyway, but yes, David Cronenberg shows up, and there's excerpts from an interview about his own feelings about art and legacy. And it's really interesting. Ultimately, she's basically agreeing with him that everything has a time limit, and this art may not last, and the actual artist will die and go away, and this will end. And so she almost comes to this conclusion, I guess, again, that all the pressure that was on her about like following up a cultural moment like Brat, if she lives in the moment and she just cares about the things that are happening now, it kind of just relieves the pressure. And all that legacy is not her problem anymore. And like, I feel like it's very cathartic for her. And so making this album really feels like it was something that she needed to get out, that this was something she needed to do, especially after the world conquering like nature of Brat. But yeah, so overall, I'm really impressed by it. I'm gonna listen to it more to see how I sit with it going forward. If I end up liking it more than her previous two records or not. As it stands right now, though, it is really strong, and I think will maybe bewilder some people, but also I think that some people, like people who get it, will be really into it.
That seems to be a common trend amongst, I guess, mainly female artists, where some of your final songs are more introspective than the rest of the album,
I
and
mean,
more
yeah,
commentary, like on like your journey thus far.
I see it as kind of yeah, like a good kind of like when you're it makes me think of when you're writing papers in high school, where it's like you want to make sure that conclusion really wraps up all of your points. It's kind of like that in album form. I think it's a good idea generally to get like yeah, just get the message that you want to portray with your art by the end of it.
Right, but it's
So
just that
yeah.
sometimes that message more or less kind of contradicts what's been in the front of the album.
But the thing is I think what Charlie is doing there is she's saying that even the more kind of like flippant moments on the record are her just expressing how she feels in that moment. Like it's so funny that she literally has an album called How I'm Feeling Now because I feel like you could also that could also be kind of name the name of the two records that followed it. Like honestly, like she's very much like this is just my stream of consciousness feeling in the moment and she gets it on a song and it makes it relatable somehow. I think that she's really on a creative streak still, and this did not end it. I think this just continues it.
So expect more Charlie XCX following this album.
I mean,
And of
perhaps,
course, following the Wuthering Heights album, which
yeah,
technically
which
was
doesn't
her
really
last
count.
project.
That was more of a film, like I don't know what the word is, and like something to go with the movie.
Not contemporary, complimentary.
Yeah, sure. I don't know why I'm struggling with words and names right now, but anyway, it's been a
Because it's
long
the
week.
weekend. And you listen
Yeah,
to Charlie XCX today. That's why.
it's been a long week. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay.
I don't want to go too long on it.
Well, I don't have anything to go with it because I did not listen to it. I didn't listen to any other new music. So we can move on into video games, where we start with
All right.
new releases,
Okay.
including Concept, the first Saturn tribute for the PC. This, of course, does mean you can expect the second Saturn tribute to occur within 3 to 5 years.
I love to issue tributes to my Saturn. I never owned a Saturn, but if I did, I would tribute it.
Oh, I assumed this was both Saturn, the planet, and Saturn, the Roman god.
I will be honest, I have no idea what it's referring to. I don't know which Saturn it's talking about.
Well, it could Sep be the planet. It could Sep
All
be
right. All right.
the
You lost
god.
me.
It
You lost
could
me.
Sep be the car. It could Sep be the person.
We cold set move on. How about that?
All right. It could Sep be the the game system.
Yes. Anyway.
We also have Dispatch. Yes, it already came out, but this time for the Xbox Series X.
Yes.
So if you haven't played Dispatch, one, shame on you. Two, you can now play because it's on the Xbox.
There you go.
We also have EverQuest Legends for the PC, Company of Heroes 3 Final Stand for the PC. But everyone get out of the way. The big boy is here, coming to the Xbox Series X and the PS5 and the PC is Halo, colon, campaign evolved.
Yes, Master Chief finally comes to the PlayStation.
Date and
Uh,
date launch, no waiting
yes,
around here.
I understand that this is a pretty good remake of Halo 1. So if you've never played Halo, if you've been a PlayStation person your entire life and missed that boat,
Or
here's
if
your
you were bored
opportunity.
within the past 20 years and missed that
Yeah,
boat.
maybe that too. So I'm kind of weird. I played the original Halo on PC first. I played a lot of PC Halo. I didn't play it on Xbox until much later. So yeah, that's a good game. The campaign for Halo 1 is a really, really good campaign. I think it still holds up. Obviously, if you know anything about the Halo 1 campaign, you've heard about the library and how much the mission, the library sucks. But once you get past the library, it's good again. Trust me. But yes, Halo's a lot of fun. I recommend it. Especially that ending. It's pretty cool. But yeah.
You,
Um,
oh, and the score. Everyone comes in with the oh.
yes, exactly. You gotta love that. But yeah, I recommend if you are a PlayStation 5 owner and you've never played Halo, pick this up. It'll probably be a good time and you won't regret it.
I mean, when you're starting with a really, really good game, it's hard to fuck it up.
Yeah, you would hope.
I mean, you'd hope, but here we are,
Here we are.
25 years past its launch, initial launch.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's get into some video game
Yeah,
news.
speaking of things that are hard to fuck up.
Yeah. Well, we talked about a bunch of games and coming out. We didn't talk about Nintendo.
No.
Well, Nintendo's in the news as they're saying it shouldn't have to pay back players if it receives tariff refunds from the US government. Last year, Nintendo increased the price of the original Switch hardware in the US, with the Switch Lite becoming $30 more expensive, and the Switch becoming $40 more expensive, and the Switch OLED becoming $50 more expensive. Do note, this is not just Nintendo raising the prices of its consoles. All manufacturers raised the prices of the consoles once the tariffs were enacted. I'm sorry, once the recently struck down tariffs were enacted. So Nintendo's price changes were widely attributed, and I mean directly attributed, to the current US president's decision to impose sweeping tariffs on numerous countries and later pauses some of them, except for a sizable tariff on China, where tech products are often manufactured. Now, as reported by GameFile, Nintendo has asked the courts to dismiss the class action lawsuit, saying players, quote, received exactly what they bargained and paid for when they bought a Switch after the price increase.
You gotta love lawyers, right? Like
Mhm.
they always figure out a way to like manipulate something to make it sound like, well, they the company is innocent here. They were just really just making a deal with the consumer, and the consumer agreed to pay the price. They didn't
The
complain about
consumer
it in the moment. They still bought it.
Nintendo didn't demand that you pay above
Right.
the market price. That's
You
just
chose
what
to.
they marketed to.
Right. It's a free market, and you really choose the price that you no.
I mean,
This is
you're rolling
really
right into
gross.
the speaking with your dollars, vote
Yeah.
with your money, vote with your wallet.
It's really gross because they know that like it's not like so one of the arguments they make in a quote that's not on this story that I heard was well there were alternative products that the consumer could have purchased if they determined that the Switch price was too high. I say bullshit. Sure, there are other video game consoles on the market, but they're not the Switch. Nintendo consoles are unique, and it's not like a lot of other consumer goods. In fact, it's not like a lot of other electronics. It would be saying like, Oh, I only buy Sony DVD players because they play Sony's DVDs. That's not how DVDs work.
Hmm.
You can, however, say that about Nintendo, right? I buy a Switch because I want to play Nintendo's video games, and Nintendo does not put out Nintendo's video games on the PlayStation. So it's bullshit to have a lawyer be like, well, they saw the price of the Switch. They agreed to that price. They could have gone over to buy a PlayStation instead. No, because if they're buying a Switch, they're buying a Switch for Nintendo games most of the time. And whatever else their kids want or whatever they're interested in. But mostly it's because that's where Mario is. Like, it's a crazy thing to say. And it's not an excuse at all for them not to be willing to pay off tariffs. It's really just because, of course, they just don't want to. Like, really, there are corporations that are either going to try to figure out ways to do this to pay back consumers, like coupons or whatever you want. That's already happening with a lot of other industries. Or there's going to be these corporations like Nintendo who are just like, we're not going to do that. You can't convince us. Sorry, we're not going to do that. We get the benefits of suing them, but you consumer doesn't.
Right, and this goes into the whole geopolitical nightmare quagmire that is a Japanese company doing business on American soil
Yeah.
with American rules, but being governed by a baby,
Yeah, more or less.
more or less.
Yeah, and so it sucks that like something like that can like just completely pump up prices. Don't be surprised if you see versions of this statement from Sony and Microsoft as well, because like they're all going to be attacked like at like in situations like this in similar ways. And there are also corporations who are probably going to be like, no, we're not paying them back.
Well, you know what you can't tariff? Digital goods.
Oh, thank you, PlayStation. I didn't know you were doing PR for PlayStation now. Wow.
That's exactly how they would spin this. This is how I
Wearing
would spin it
multiple
for them.
hats.
Yes. And this is also why Nintendo's actually getting out of it, so they don't have to deal with it anymore.
Sure. But
When I say
yeah,
Nintendo,
anyway.
Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, that's another your semi monthly reminder that Nintendo is not innocent compared to the other two guys. Even though we talk about them a lot more doing cruddy shit, Nintendo does cruddy shit sometimes too, and it usually has to do with lawyers when they do.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about when Nintendo sued Pal World.
Yep. And, you know, when they went off after all the ROM sites, and also when they went after people for Pokemon stuff, like for printing things on birthday forms, and I could go on.
Yeah, no one as giant, none of these giant corporations ever go unscathed with anything.
Yeah, no, they're not good. They're not your friend. Nintendo's not your friend as much as you think Nintendo is because they give you the Mario. They're not your friend.
Mm, that's okay. I have other friends. I have both real
Yeah,
life friends and I have digital friends. I have digital companions.
yeah. Hey, so what's Digimon Up?
I don't know what's up with you.
There we go. Thank you. Set him up, knock him down. I was actually hoping you would say, "What's Digimon up with you?" But
Yeah.
close enough.
Yes.
Anyways, no, but really though, I don't know what Digimon Up is. Can you tell me?
Okay, Digimon Up is a new mobile game,
Okay.
free to play, that's more of an idle game and also a gotcha system.
Of course it is.
Of course it is, but it's also more akin to like the V pets of Days Beyond, Days of
Which
Yore.
is what is that?
The V pets?
Oh, you mean like the Tamagotchi equivalent that was the
Yes,
first Digimon thing?
yes, where yeah,
Ah,
Digimon based off the Tamagotchi games, but then also based off the Digivice Tamagotchis that they would put out with each new season, and you feed them and play with them and help them
watch them
grow.
poop.
Oh, lots of poop, yes.
Lots of poop.
Yep. But yeah, very similar in that thing, but also more of an idler where you're constantly battling, going through a loop. There's different dungeons that you can do to help beef up your Digimon. Currently,
Mhm.
there's a roster of 15, the original 8 Digidestined, um, plus the four, the four from O2, plus the three from the third illustration, the Tamers. So you get 15 in total out of that. Lots of Digimon to help grow up. But it does fall into the gotchas where you do have to, like, once you run out of your dailies, you do have to wait for the next day to occur. It is very fresh, so there's still a lot to do. But I can also see this being very much an idle game that eventually you do kind of hit the wall, you do kind of hit the peak, and you're like, okay, how
Mhm.
much grinding am I really going to do here? Because, like,
Right.
well, like right now, I need to grind out some levels, so I'm just having it run in front of me because I know I can do that, but I have to have the phone on to do that.
Yeah, do.
So I've seen people like, oh, like this is such a grindy game that I just put it on when I sleep and I like get all the levels overnight. But also, like, you can also not do that, but it caps out after 8 hours that you have to like redo it again. It's a kind of a scummy way of like getting you back in there, but it's also an idler. It's not what people want, or at least we're expecting, especially coming off of Digimon Story Time Stranger, which is more of an interactive game and more of a AAA game. This is not a AAA game. This is more of a gap filler. This is more, oh, I want more Digimon. I want another fix, especially before Pokemon or Digimon Elysium comes out, which is the trading card game. And I almost said Pokemon Pocket because that is also a trading card
Very much.
game.
Yeah.
So you'll have competing card games. I mean, it Pokemon like dominates. We know this.
Yeah.
Digimon has its niche fan base that comes and goes, especially in waves. Here, they're hitting a lot of the nostalgia factor by focusing solely on those first original 3 seasons. There is room to grow into the other seasons as well, especially because they have the Digivices available. So basically, they're saying that we do plan to add more content to this game down the road. I'm just more worried about how much am I going to be consuming this to hit that wall. But okay, now I'm just waiting for the next update. Now I'm just waiting for the next update, which is what I've, yes, as you've coined before, my gotcha obsession.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, this is the new gotcha obsession. Haven't spent any money on it, but doing enough to where I'm enjoying my time with it. There's enough dungeons, there's enough Digimeat, there's enough variety to where I don't feel like I'm stuck doing monotonous stuff. And that's a good feeling.
But yeah, I would think
Yeah, and
so.
they've got, yeah, I mean, it's got your classic gotcha stuff too with banners and trying to get money, but you don't have to spend a lot. Just spend the $6 to not watch the ads. Whenever there's a no ad option, I'm like, okay, yes. Especially if I know there's something that I'm going to be playing a
Play a lot.
lot, and
Yeah.
especially something that has a lot of ads. If you
Yeah.
do not buy the no ad option, you will be stuck banging your head against a lot of ads. Good thing the no ad option is only like $6.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. But yeah, it's a fine game if you know what you're getting yourself into. And that's Digimon Up, available on the App Store.
All right. Okay. Cool.
And
Um, anything else?
hmm, there were new updates to the two gotcha game. To
Speaking
speaking
speaking of
of
more gotcha
gotchas,
games.
speaking of gotchas, there were two big updates while I was away for Infinity Nikki and Arknight Infields. So been going through those as well. Oh, and then I still need to finish Life is Strange, the
Right.
that sequel,
Right.
double exposure. But yeah, I'm not too keen to going on back to that just yet. Have you been playing anything?
No, not really. So yeah, I guess we can move on to sports if
All
you're
right,
ready.
let's go to television. We start television with the Sports Corner.
Lots of sports to talk about today.
Oh yes. See, I picked up for so long, I forgot what we do and do have not talked about yet.
Yeah.
So FIFA technically ended last Sunday.
Yes, I mentioned it on the show last week that the final was between Spain and Argentina. Ultimately, Spain took the big win there.
Yes. Oddly enough, this was the first time in the finale where both teams spoke Spanish.
Huh, fun.
Yeah. Even though it was still broadcasted in English, you could have gotten your Telemundo fix one last time on it. But yeah, Spain beat Argentina 1-0 by scoring in stoppage time, and they should have gone to extra time, but they didn't. And so the game ended, and Messi's teammates were fighting while Messi was crying. Not
You
because
know.
he lost, but because his teammates were being idiots. But yeah, also Argentina got a red card, which was fun to see. But yeah, congratulations, Spain. You now host, you now hoist the trophy while also hosting the next time the World Cup comes around
There
in
you
four
go.
years. Well, no, it's actually like Spain and Morocco, but also they're because it's like the 100th anniversary of the FIFA World Cup. The next time it comes around in 2030, that they're still going to have games in South America as well as a tribute to the 100th playing of the World Cup or the
Mhm.
100th year,
Right. Yeah.
100 year. But yeah, that's in 4 years. Still with the World Cup, we have our Golden Boot winner, none other than the French general himself, Kylian Mbappe, who won with 10 goals and 4 assists, beating out Messi because France and England scored way too many goals in the third place game.
Yeah, I feel like for all the Americans watching that, they got a real taste of not what soccer usually looks like.
Well, yeah, especially because you watch the third place game on Saturday,
Yeah,
and then you go to the Sunday game, all hyped up from it, from all those goals,
right.
just to see a 1-0 game.
Just one. It's like, wait a minute, aren't we supposed to be like 10-0 at this point? What the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, you got both the highs and the nils of the World Cup. Now we don't have to think about it. It's for 4 years or until the Women's World Cup comes around.
Yeah.
But we have, now that that football is no longer in the US, we can talk about American football
We can. It's
as
true.
we wait and wait and wait for training camp. Well, it's already begun, but training camp is currently happening. It won't be until next weekend when the Hall of Fame game will take place. So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, if you live near any of the training camp sites, they are going on. They are open to the public. They are hoping the players don't get injured.
Turns out.
All right. Speaking of next week, August 3rd is a Monday. It is
Yes.
also the MLB trade
Whew.
deadline. So teams have 10 days from today, as of this recording, to make any final trades for the 2025 season. Because after that Monday, it is closed. No more trade. Got to pick people off of free agency.
Yes, indeed. So this means that Monday, since I will be in the office, I will probably have something in my ear listening to the whatever, like the MLB TV, like reporting to hear whenever that little buzzer goes off every time a big trade happens.
I mean, it's not gonna. Hopefully, it's not gonna be like these past previous years where you get like just only one big trade. I want
Yeah.
like five. I want like chaos.
I think it will be because I think you have some of the clubs that did not do a whole lot last year when they were expected to will do a lot more this year because their GMs are different.
Hmm.
I'm looking at you, Angels.
You
I
hope.
imagine there will be some surprise moves from smaller teams. I don't mean financially, I mean like chances of winning. Um, that will surprise people. And I feel like it's just a matter of days now to find out what's going to happen.
Oh, I can't wait for them to trade Mike Trout.
They're not going to trade Trout.
Uh,
Anyway.
anyways, that's not the only baseball that will be happening.
No, I've got a double dose for you who want an alternative to men's baseball. There's softball and baseball action happening with women this coming week. First, it begins tomorrow. The AUSL is already in their championship series. It starts tomorrow. It is a matchup, rematch of last year's final, which was also the Talons and the Bandits. They will face each other again this year for the big trophy. The first game is tomorrow morning. That is Saturday, the 25th, at bright and early Pacific time at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that will be the first ever softball game broadcast on national television. Yes, ABC will be carrying that one. So that's a big deal for the AUSL and for softball. The second game will happen a day later on ESPN, and a third game, if necessary, will happen on ESPN2 on Monday the 27th. So stay tuned for that. Then, meanwhile, if softball isn't your jam, but you like baseball, but what if baseball with women? Well, we weren't able to report on this because we didn't have a show, or I was on the show that week. I don't know if you talked about it. But the Women's Professional Baseball League announced their team names for the teams that have already been established. So we already knew that there would be four teams in the inaugural season: Boston, New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Now they have identities and jerseys and merch and the whole shebang. For video users, video viewers right now, you'll notice that I am wearing a Los Angeles Queens hat. Yes, that's the Los Angeles name. They are the Queens. I got this in a t-shirt.
Yep, the
Meanwhile,
Kings and the Queens.
exactly, go Queens go, as Kristen said.
Yes,
And then,
GQG.
yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I'm gonna have to use that actually. And then, meanwhile, the other teams are the Boston Hunters, the New York Heights, and the San Francisco Firebells. So that season, guess what? Already starts next week. So when the AUSL ends, the WPBL starts. Um, August 1st will be the first game. There will be two games that day. The first of which will be LA versus New York at 5 o'clock Eastern. So tune in for that. Though I believe those will be broadcast on YouTube for this first season.
Right now, I'm not only didn't report on this, but the team names,
Mhm.
while unique to each city, are actually based on specific women, historic women
Yes.
within the region as well.
Indeed, that is true. I recommend if you're interested, go check out their Instagram. They have all the details there. If you just search WPBL on Instagram, you will find them. And yeah, pick your team. I'm gonna rep the Queens, my local team. So I'm excited to see how they do on opening day.
Yep, there it is. The Hunters from Harriet Hunt, the Los Angeles Queens, representing Lizzie Murphy, one of the original women in baseball.
Hmm.
The New York Heights, represented by Dorothy Height, civil rights activist. And then the San Francisco Firebells, represented by Lily Hitchcock Coit, of the fire, fire. It says Forged in Fire. The firefighters spouting the blaze on Telegraph Hill. There it is.
There you go. All right. So there you go. Check it out if that sounds cool to you. All right. What else is going on in sports?
All right, well, we've got the Summer League. It continues in Las Vegas. But continuing the trend of women's sports, the WNBA
Yes.
All-Star Game is this
Yeah.
weekend.
What a weekend for women's sports.
Yep. And the number one overall draft pick, Ozzy Fudd, will be participating in not only her first All-Star game, but also in the three-point contest. That'll take place on Saturday with the All-Star game on Sunday.
Yep.
All right. Um, oh, and little news dropped today that the Los Angeles Lakers are LeBronless.
Right.
The decision has been made again,
Hmm.
Which
Yeah.
decision is this? Anyways, LeBron is officially going to the Philadelphia 76ers, like we all
Yes.
predicted.
He's going to trust the process.
Yes, he's going to go ring chasing
Yeah.
with Joel Embiid. He has 2 years to do it. He signed a 2-year contract for $8 million, which is, yes, stupidly low for LeBron James, but
Yeah.
also realize that he's 43.
This is a victory lap season. Let's be real. Like we thought he was going to retire last year. And so 8 million sounds about right just for one little extra push.
I mean, I guess this is technically his league minimum based off how many years he's played in the league, how
Uh,
many trophies he's won, how many titles he's won, how many All Stars he's been elected to. So those get compounded on top of it, and yeah, so 8 million is his league minimum for 2 years, which
uh,
yeah is honestly a steal for anybody.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But yeah, well, I mean, my I'm still in the head canon that if he does not win in Philly within these next 2 years, and he does not get career-ending injuries, he does his one final victory lap tour in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
We'll see, but yeah, he's definitely wants to ring chase, go off on a high, right off into the sunset. Say that he took 4 teams to the series and won it all, especially the 76ers, who have a long drought, which I saw that uh, on social media that if the Knicks had lost, he might have gone there to help get them over the hump and be the one who
Hmm,
finally got them the ring.
interesting.
But they didn't. They won.
But they didn't.
Yep. All right. And lastly, in sports news, the NHL is having a bit of an MLB crisis. I say
Yes.
that because of broadcasting rights.
Yeah, and kind of for the same problem that many of the MLB teams had.
Well, this one affects the current Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, they are one of 4 teams that will have their games produced and distributed by the NHL for the upcoming season. Those other 3 teams being the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Minnesota Wild, and the St. Louis Blues. Will also have their local broadcasts done by NHL Productions when that season begins late September.
Okay.
So, yeah, more regional networks not occurring.
Yep.
All right.
Makes sense.
Um,
I think that the leagues like that because they can kind of control the message a little bit.
mhm,
So yeah, not surprising.
yep. All right. And that'll do it for sports news.
All right, that's it for sports. We can move on to some television news for you. And this week it's a little crossover with the video game section with one of your favorites, none other than God of War.
God of who?
God of War, because Prime Video's God of War will have a new God of War playing Kratos as the lead role in the high profile fantasy drama series based on the video game. Yes, Ryan Hurst, who had originally been cast as Kratos, is being recast due to being seriously injured on the set of the adaptation in late June. God of War paused production immediately following the incident and remains on hiatus. Hurst's projected recovery time is unclear, but for a serious bicep tear requiring surgery, it's typically 4 to 6 months, with a return to full strength taking up to a year. Given the physicality of a role like Kratos, it will likely not have been safe for Hurst to resume filming until 2027, so they recast the role. Prep is expected to begin in mid August for a mid October production start, So yeah, the whole thing will be delayed probably beyond where they originally wanted to air it.
Right, and that's 2027 at the earliest.
Earliest. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we wish Ryan Hurst a well and speedy recovery. Anytime you're doing extraneous activity, whether it is acting or sports, that you take care of your body, take care of your health. Roles will be here when you return, except in this case where you will be recast. Who they will have to get next, I don't know, but I hear Christopher Judge is available.
Not exactly, I think, what they're going for, but sure.
No, not what they're going for. But I mean, they have mid-August, so a month left until we know who the new God of War will be and how much have they already filmed. Can they technically reuse, or do they have to start all over from scratch? Because they already put out like a bunch of production and set photos already to the media to very mixed reviews, I might add. So this
Hmm.
may be a blessing in disguise for Amazon. But yeah, I mean, we will wait until we know who picks up the hammer next. Sorry, the
All right.
axe.
Whatever weapon they want to give him.
The blade of chaos. Well, I said hammer because Ryan Hurst played Thor in Ragnarok. But yeah, only as voice acting, not as physical acting.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
All right.
Well,
You watched the television, I understand. A couple of wrapping up some seasons here.
I did. First off, I did watch the ESPYs. Manly Man Tears were had, but that's also 2 weeks ago, so I kind of watched that on delayed. But while I was on vacation, I did have time to sit and do nothing but watch a show, Widow's Bay. So it's gotten all these Emmys nominations.
Yeah.
It's being talked about incessantly everywhere. I finally decided to take the plunge and I downloaded Widow's Bay so I could watch only Widow's Bay on a plane. I got 3 episodes into Widow's Bay.
Uh-huh.
I did not care for it.
Really?
I
Okay.
did
What
not
what
like it.
didn't work for you?
It's a horror anthology series
Yeah.
based set on an island titled Widow's Bay, where
Yeah.
the new mayor single-handedly experiences all the creepy things that happens within Widow's Bay. And here's the thing that I may not have gotten to yet, but the mayor has lived in Widow's Bay all his life. He
Uh-huh. Yeah.
knows of these stories. He's been mayor for several months now and is basically part Jaws-esque, opening the Widow's Bay for the summer for the tourists and trying to get them to come and say everything's safe. There's nothing creepy going on here, except creepy stuff does happen, specifically to the mayor of this town. And I say specifically to the mayor of this town because he is very hands-on mayor with all these creepy incidences. And it's just a little bit too convenient that he happens to be in the middle of everything. Like I said, maybe by the time we get to the end, there's an explanation of it. But 3 episodes in, I was like, nah, I wasn't buying the premise a whole lot. I'm sure it's good. I mean, people like Pluribus too.
Sure.
I didn't care for Pluribus either.
Right.
I also famously do not care for horror films.
Famously. Sure. Yeah.
Okay, infamously, whatever. Do not care for horror anthology series. So
Yeah. So this was
it's,
probably not your style of thing anyways, so it's not
yeah.
surprising you didn't like it.
Well, it's also like why I kept putting it off so long because I figured, okay, if I'm sitting on a plane and there's literally nothing else for me to do, I could at least sit and watch it. I could not get into it. I could not care less for the mayor. I could not care less for this town. Even with literally nothing else like distracting me around, and could only focus on this show. I still could not focus on this show. It
Well,
didn't grasp me. It didn't reach out to me. It didn't pull me in of the mystery of, oh, what else is happening with this town? Like, whoa, why is all this creepy stuff keep happening here in Widow's Bay? Because that's how they keep saying it, Widow's Bay.
bye.
Like it's like New England, like
Right.
Salem, Widow's Bay area.
Sure.
And I'm halfway thinking into the second episode of why don't they lean into this? Why don't they? Because they literally bring up like Salem, Massachusetts. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point. Why don't they just lean into the creepy factor? I'm sure they get a lot of tourists that way. Just lean into it. Don't try to like shy away from it and being like, oh, everything's safe, everything's fine, nothing weird goes on here. Like, no, lean into it. You'll probably get more tourists that way.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe they do by the end. I don't know. I didn't get there, but from already thinking that at the second episode, the same thing happened with Plymouth, where I kind of figured like as soon as like you join, there's no reason for them to keep putting on the show, and that ended up being the end. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I figured that out like episode two, and you maybe wait 8 episodes to get to that same conclusion.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
I was on a plane. It's all about the destination. It's not about the journey.
Anyway,
Anyways, yeah, Widow's Bay. I'll probably force myself to finish it. I may not like it, but I will force myself to finish it. At least
I
come the Emmys time.
okay. You don't have to.
You're right. Come and watch something else instead.
Yeah. Yeah. What else did you watch?
The new season of King of the Hill.
Right.
It's out on Hulu. All 10 episodes are available through Hulu or Disney Plus with Hulu, however you want to watch it. And I feel like this is the season that they wanted to make more than the first season of the new reboot. Because a lot of stuff happened in the new reboot of the with the first season felt like, oh, we want to catch up with not just the Hill family, but all the characters. We want to like have all these like different interactions of like where have they been, how have they changed, how are we going to set this up in a new society. There's some instances where they didn't do that, and I liked those episodes more. Like the episode where Hank and Bobby go training with the Dallas Cowboys. It's like
Yeah.
a father-son bonding time. I was like, ooh, I like that kind of episode. But the others felt like, oh, we need to like help reintroduce what was Hank Hill into modern Ireland.
Right. Right. Right.
Now that all that has been set up, I feel like they're more in stride with what is considered classic material for King of the Hill, where you can have these standalone episodes. Not everything has to be connected or lean into something bigger, but more the slice of life that King of the Hill is known for. And they're definitely hitting their stride here, especially in the second episode where they adopt a new dog. Like, yes, you still get some of that nostalgia factor of like how does this new dog compare to Ladybird, Hank's dog, and there's very touching moments where he like like thinks about it Ladybird fondly, but also like there's a new dog, and how do I train a new dog? Am I too old for a
Hmm.
new dog? And I don't want a new dog because I had a dog and he never replaced that dog. But it's those kind of like slices in the moments that's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what I want here. That's where they hit their stride, where you're
Yeah.
hitting at those heartstrings and not trying to be too modern,
Right.
but at the same time, be modern enough to where you're going through current society problems. Like there's an episode dealing with AI and being scammed as an old person. I was like, oh, that's a cool angle to go at. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot of fun, especially with this new season.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's the thing of that in that case with that show, which is they nailed the characters so well that they can kind of put those characters into any kind of scenario and you'll still like it'll still be really awesome because like just that's how well written and how fully realized that those characters are. And so it's not surprising that even in a reboot, they were able to nail that dynamic in a new way. And you're right, like they gotta, the transition into the modern timeline over with, so that
Mhm.
way they can really hit the ground running here. And that's good to hear that they did it.
Yeah, not to say that that first reboot season was
I
bad.
heard it was
It's
good
just
too.
that
Yeah.
it is good. It's
Yeah.
that it does seem like there was a lot of, oh, let's bring back this character. Let's make sure that you touch on this character and that
Right.
character that you haven't that they haven't seen or interacted with in 15, 20 years or whatever.
Right.
15, 10 years, 15 years. So now that like they've reacclimated, it feels like okay, now we can just go with the new stuff that we wanted to
Hmm.
talk about
Yeah.
and be more contemporary, which King of the Hill has always felt.
Cool. Well, I'm glad they got it right.
Mhm.
All right. Cool. Is that it for television?
Unless you've watched something.
Not really. It's kind of in between seasons for us right now. So yeah, I think right now in this household we're rewatching The Circle. We rewatched season one, and now we're in rewatch of season two
That's because they haven't brought it back in
because
two
they haven't brought it
years.
back yet.
I
We
think it's
heard a
dead.
rumor though that Hulu might be picking it up, and it might be live this time.
Oh, like
Isn't
Big
that an
Brother style?
interesting twist? So we'll see how that works out if that happens. But we'll see. All right, let's move on then into cancellations and renewals.
What am I no longer watching?
You're no longer watching It's Not Like That, which has been canceled after one season on Prime Video.
I think it's around. It's not like that.
It's not like that.
There you
Well,
go.
it's not like anything now because it's over. Then we have three finale announcements this week. Colin from Accounts on Paramount Plus. Its third season will be its final. The Morning Show on Apple TV will wrap up after its fifth season. And Godfather of Harlem on MGM Plus will wrap up after its fourth season. Yeah, the notable one being there, I think the being the morning show,
Hmm.
kind of Apple TV's one of their headline shows is finally ending.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot of other shows now.
Yeah, they have a lot to cover. Next up, House of David will get a third season on Prime Video. Love Island, Beyond the Villa, will get a third season on Peacock. Sullivan's Crossing will get a fifth season on the CW. Beauty in Black will get a fourth season on Netflix. And those are your cancellations and renewals. We have three deaths to talk about real quick. I'll leave the banger for the last one here. We'll start with William Wisher Jr., age 71, a screenwriter, wrote Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Judge Dredd, and Exorcist the Beginning. So wow, some hits there.
Longtime collaborator with James Cameron.
Makes
I mean, it just
sense.
lists Terminator 2, but he
Mm.
collaborated with all of his projects.
Well, there you go. Next, Alan Walden, age 83, music manager of Leonard Skinnerd and Otis Redding, also the founder of Capricorn Records. But then, last but definitely not least, we lost Sam Neill this week, or this past week, I should say, since we didn't do deaths on the solo shows.
Yep.
Um, he was age 78, of course, famous for Jurassic Park, but also plenty of other films, including Event Horizon and many, many more. Definitely seems like a great actor and also a really great guy from
Mhm.
whoever ever talked about him. It seems like he was a real stand-up dude. Just look up some of his quotes. He gave some really interesting interviews over the years.
He also popped up in a lot of TV's
Yes,
episodes, especially over the past 20 years
that's
or
true.
so. That like,
That is
oh,
true.
Sam Neill's in this. Oh, he
Yeah.
pops up as both like especially like random shows that he pops up in for like a bit character for like
Hmm.
5 episodes, like or like a season, and like goes away. It's real
Yeah.
fun to like see him come in every now and then.
Yeah.
And yes, not just Jurassic Park, but he also did come back
Right.
for the sequels as well.
Yeah.
Most recently with the Jurassic World Dominion.
That's right. When they brought back a lot of the cast members from the original.
Hmm.
All right. Let's move on into the final section of the show then, which is movies. And we always start the movie section with the weekend box office numbers. And your number one movie, we didn't have to tell you this, it's obvious, was, of course, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, which premiered to $123 million. Too bad we didn't have a collaborative show last week, or else we could have tried to pin that bet. How much we have lost probably without knowing it was going to be that successful?
I mean, I would have put it at 100 million.
Yeah, and it
Just
would
does it
have
cross the
did it.
triple digit mark? And it did.
Yeah,
Those
and
IMAX
apparent.
screens.
Yeah, it's a hit, and also critics love it. It seems like it is a smash out of the park for Nolan this time. So yeah, keep an eye on the Odyssey. It will also be your number one next week.
I mean, I do have tickets to see The Odyssey
There you go.
in 3 weeks because I cannot get a ticket to see it in 60
Wow.
millimeter IMAX that fits my schedule.
Yeah, I was gonna say in a format you want to see it
Yeah, the
because
70
yeah, Christy and
millimeter
I were
IMAX large
yeah,
format.
Christy and I were just thinking about just doing a regular tomorrow.
Oh, but it's not filmed for it. It's filmed for the IMAX experience.
I'm sure it will be fine. Anyways, so yeah, that's your number one movie. Coming in at number two, Moana made 17 million in its second week. That's at 81 domestic. Number three, Toy Story 5, which I talked about when you were gone. Did you
I
get
did
around to
hear
seeing
you
it?
that I did not get around to seeing it. It was not
Okay.
available on the plane.
Got no, not yet. Uh, okay, well, I don't know if you listened to
I,
my
I,
thoughts on it.
yes, I was here when you talked about your thoughts on it. You said I should go see it.
Oh, you were? I thought I did that by myself. Anyway, oh, weird.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Or
Because
maybe
I'm
I
pretty
listened
sure
to
that that
it.
was the solo show that I talked about Toy Story 5.
Maybe.
Anyway, well, regardless, I'm very interested to get your take when you do see it. And then number three, or sorry, that was number three. Number four, Minions and Monsters with 13 million. That's this week. That's at 136. And number five, Evil Dead Burn, 4.7 this week. That's at 23. Upcoming this week, we have a triplet of movies that will lose to the Odyssey. First is Pinocchio, Unstrung.
Yes, horror Pinocchio, as it is.
Sure. In the recent tradition of things that are in the public domain that are associated with kids' movies being turned into horror films.
Yeah.
And then,
Robert England is a part
yeah,
of this.
sure.
Um, yeah.
Why not? And you also have something called Motor City.
This, I believe, is still coming out this week. This stars Alan Ritchson in a crime, drama, action, mystery, thriller, a little bit of everything.
Okay. But if you haven't had enough of your Greek mythology with the Odyssey, just wait. More Greek gods await you in the filmed version of the popular musical Hades Town.
Yep.
We're big fans of Hades Town here on the Meaty Boat podcast. So if you have not seen it, this is a good way to see it in a theater. Is this a Fathom event or is this an actual distributed film?
It says it's by Bleecker Street, so
Okay.
I think it's an
All right.
actual film release.
Okay. So this is probably getting
Limited as well.
limited but semi wide. So you'll probably be able to track down a theater showing this if you are
Yes.
interested. But yeah,
There
Hades
is
Town.
also a comedy horror film that I've not heard anything about called Haunted Heist, starring Tiffany Haddish and Lil
Okay.
Ray Howard.
Sure, why not? All right. Well,
It
your number one
exists.
movie, yeah, that exists. But your number one movie will be The Odyssey again. I'll let you pin a number on that donkey. Go for it. What do you think?
You mean the Trojan horse?
Yeah, on the Trojan horse or whatever you will. Yeah.
All right. So 123 million. I rounded up to 125. So it loses half of that. That puts it at, was it 75 then? No, yeah, let's put it at 75. You can go over
75?
under 75.
Okay. You choose first. Since you chose the number, you can choose your over or under.
As Christopher Nolan fanboy, I will take the over then.
All right. Sounds
thinking that
good.
it will do more money than 75.
All right. Well, we'll check it back in next week to see how that does. In the meantime, let's move on to our movie story of the week. Unfortunately, we're talking about AI again, this time in the Netflix camp, because they may have been pulling a fast one on all of us, a little under the radar about their AI usage. Roughly 300 Netflix programs across the streamer's library have used generative AI across their production process so far this year. Netflix told shareholders in a letter that the technology's usage expands across every level of a program's production process, from its concept and pre visualization to post production and release. The company singled out programs like its Indian sports thriller series Glory, its Brazilian soccer miniseries Brazil 70, A Saga do Tri, and its American Revolution focused docuseries The American Experiment for their uses of the technology, which Netflix said helped create, quote, highly complex sequences, end quote, that included enhanced crowd sizes and battle sequences. The disclosure came as Netflix's second quarter revenue hit $12.56 billion, up 13.4% year over year, with a net income of $3.4 billion. So, Netflix, of course, is bragging about this because their shareholders want to hear it. We've been talking about this a lot
Mhm.
on the podcast, is that shareholders are dumb. They don't understand AI. But if you they know it's a buzzword, and if you say buzzwords to shareholders, the money goes up.
The ticker goes up, yes.
Yeah. And so companies will try to push things like this and be like, well, did you know that 300 of our programs have used AI? Here's three examples because they know that the shareholders will get dollar signs in their eyes and be like, they said the AI magic word. That must mean money.
Right. And also notice that the the shows that they do this on or
Yeah.
have done this on,
Yeah.
not US production shows.
Not U.S. production shows, and also because unions. And two,
Mhm.
two, you'll notice that they're weirdly not fiction. It's stuff that is either a documentary series or sports documentary series so far. And so it's very interesting to see that this is not being used in a like narrative kind of way by by fictional programs yet.
Right. That's why they specifically mention crowd size and battle size,
Yes.
basically using the green screen, blue screen effect of, oh, like you can have infinite people
Yeah.
behind me because it's this blue screen.
So I will give them, I don't want to give them any credit for using this stuff, but I will give them some credit, I guess, for not necessarily doing the worst case scenario, which is like AI scripts or AI actors or some of the really
Mhm.
egregious stuff that's been promised by some of these dumbasses out there. But it still sucks that they're not hiring actual like traditional effects people to do these effects. That being said, like I said, as long as the shareholders get excited, like wet their little pants whenever they hear AI, Netflix and companies like them will still try to push it as far as they can until the whole thing explodes. Which, I'm watching the timer. We'll get there eventually.
Is that bubble big enough yet?
Just keep pumping. Just keep
But yeah, I
blowing it
mean, I
up.
also feel like they're testing in international markets. Like I said,
Yeah.
one, unions
Right.
here in the US, but two, where else can they push that boundary? How
Right.
far can they take it until it does become too far? And
Yeah.
also, like, before it gets into cross promotional, because the two biggest arenas for Netflix are the US
Yeah.
and South Korea. Everywhere
Right.
else is small potatoes and
Yeah.
playthings. I guess the UK is technically up there too.
It's probably I don't know. I haven't seen like their chart of like membership, but yeah,
But yeah, I mean that's why they're playing in these
smaller
little
markets.
smaller markets. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
makes
testing
sense.
those waters. They're circling that AI drain.
Yep.
They're trying to feed their internal beast because
Yeah.
Netflix is not a production company. It's a technology company.
Yeah, or at least they want you to believe
They
that.
want you to believe it.
Because every entertainment company now wants you to believe that they're a tech company first.
Hmm.
All right. That's it for television or movie news. Sorry. It's also television news because it's Netflix.
Yes,
So I slipped there, but you know what I meant. That'll do it for the movie section, too. And you know what? That'll do it for the Media Boat podcast this week. That's it. Finito. We're wrapped up. We'll be back next week. I believe it'll be both of us from the further duration now. I don't think you're planning any other vacations, and I no longer have a side gig. So,
Nope, I do not have anything else planned, so you
all
will
right.
expect both of us
Yes.
for the remainder of this podcast existence
Unless something crazy happens, which could
until
happen.
otherwise noted.
Yeah, until otherwise noticed. So, thank you for watching the Media Boat Podcast. We'll be back next time. If you want to watch us in video form, go to YouTube, search Media Boat Podcast there. If you want to listen to us in audio form, you can go to podcast services and search Media Boat Podcast there. If you want to find us on social media, we're on Blue Sky, search Media Boat Podcast there. And lastly, where do you send an email? Why? You send emails to mediaboatpodcast@gmail.com. Do that with your questions, comments, feedback about the show, whatever you want, and we'll answer them. I have not actually had access to that email address for a little bit because I forgot the password. So I don't know if we've gotten any emails. I'm hoping that you've been checking it.
I will put it in the show doc so you don't remember it because you
Thank you.
changed the password
I know
to some auto-generated password.
it was because I wanted to up our security. Sorry. Anyway. But yeah, so we'll make sure we're up to date on emails just in case any of them come on. Because we had another random spike last week of
Yep.
like 300 something downloads in a day. So I don't know what's going on out there, but hey, if you're just joining us, hey, send us an email. Say hi. We'd like to get some proof of life because the numbers say that people are downloading these episodes,
Well,
but we
my
have no
sister moved to
actual.
Japan, so that explains the Japan spike.
Yeah, maybe. But like, there's no proof that anybody actually listens unless somebody emails us questions. So please send us a question. We'll be happy to answer it. All right. We'll see you guys
Yeah.
next time.
We'll be back next week with uh more music, more news, maybe Spider-Man, because that's coming out
Yeah,
next Friday.
there you go.
We might talk about that next week.
Odyssey. We'll probably have Odyssey thoughts, or at least I will. You probably
Yes.
won't.
Well, no, I have bought
You're
tickets for that
holding
70
out.
millimeter IMAX
You're
screening.
an Odyssey purist. You're going to wait until marriage for that one.
Yes, I had to wait until I could not be either in the very front or the very sides.
Well, fine. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you guys
Well, I'll be
next week.
back with more news, more thoughts, and more of us.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.